StorySlam, I was dragged here by a friend, and of course they would add one onto the end, and I would go right to the bathroom, and I would be like, fly half down. Chris said, I think that's my name. Well, this will be really good, because I'll get through really fast, because I really have to go to the bathroom. Okay, so, every summer, since I was about 25, I run a week-long summer camp program where I teach teenagers how to form rock and roll bands. Yes! So, but it's at a Jesus camp in Connecticut, in upstate Connecticut. Now, I grew up in a church that is like the gay marryingest, like pipeline protestingest, like racial justice church on the planet. It's basically not a church. Like, it has no rules whatsoever. It's so loose and progressive that you can barely qualify it as a church. And so this church has a summer camp, and I grew up at this summer camp. It means a lot to me. So once a year, I go up there and I teach about 40 high school kids, like how to play music and how to play like secular music, and that all music, it doesn't have to be like churchy organ music to be awesome. And so I drag my very ex-Catholic best friend, Watt, who I work with. We work with 2 other people. So I drag my one coworker, like, you should come to camp and counsel for me for this long week and teach kids how to play guitar and play drums and be awesome. And it'll be great. And it's Jesus camp. And then he's like, yeah, no. Okay. I was like, no, you don't understand. Is that, you know, you've heard never follow a hippie to a second location, but past hippies, like past frat brothers, the people who know how to party greatest in this world are kids who go to Jesus camp. Because all week, you are a role model of like social justice and like acceptance and diversity, and then on the weekends, you steal canoes and drive out to the center of a lake on your canoe and drink a 30 rack and then burn all the cans in the campfire so no one finds out. So we know how to party. So I'm like, listen, come to camp with me for this week. It'll be fine. You'll work with some great kids. They really enjoy it. It's really important to them. You have no idea what kind of confidence it gives them. It'll be great. And I'll try to hook you up with a lifeguard. It'll be great. I'll have a great time. It'll be fun. He's very shy. He's very shy. So I was like, there's lots of 20-something female like staff members. Come on up with me. I'll find you a girlfriend, and we'll teach some kids how to play guitar. So we do. So it's a very intensive conference. We teach kids, you know, like we work really hard, and like they play all the instruments. So we don't do any songs where like all the adults just like jump on and play everything for them. They play everything for themselves. And so it's very intensive, and they work really hard all week. So on Wednesday, we like to like have a nice break where we're just like, we're going to show an awesome movie that you've probably never seen because you were all born in like 1998. And so we're going to show you a movie that you should have seen, but you haven't because computers have always existed, like the internet has always existed while you've been alive. So on Wednesday, everybody gets on their pajamas and they grab their sleeping bags and pillows, and we all gather in the main room, like 40 of us and like 8 counselors. And like the like UMass Amherst like stoner chaplain like gets together. We all get together, and I'm going to show them like the original like VHS version of Star Wars. So you've never seen Star Wars. So we're going to show you Star Wars. So we all spread, like all the kids spread out on their blankets on the floors, and all the counselors are kind of on the outside of the room, like watching everybody. We're watching Star Wars, and everybody loves it. My friend Watt, who I have roped into coming to Jesus camp with me, is on a couch, and next to him on the couch are the 2 behavior problem boy and girl under a blanket next to him on the couch. And so, you know, we're watching the movie, whatever, and I catch up with Watt after the movie is over. So we're watching the movie, and now I am the head of this conference, so it is my job, like, the kids need their meds, we give them their meds. The kids, you know, like, we deal with all of, like, the life issue problems. And so the movie ends, and I watch the boy on the couch, immediately get up as soon as the lights go up, and he walks over to the other guys in the cabin, and he's shoving his fingers under everybody's noses. Oh God. Oh God. And so I mean, I had to make the phone calls home I had to, like, because I'm in charge of all these kids, so I had to call the parents, like, hi, Mrs. Smith, I'm calling about Dan. What did my son do? Well, are you familiar with the finger under the nose thing? As far as sign goes? No? Okay. Alright. But the worst part about it is that I asked Juan about it, and I was like, well, I mean, we're in a room with like 40 people and like 10 adults and an ordained, you know, like granted like ex, you know, like hippie stoner, but like an ordained like member of the church is there. And he's like, yeah, they just kept staring at me. And I didn't know what was going on. And I like, these didn't seem to be doing anything. But every now and then I would hear like I would see like a rustle in the bushes, like under the blanket, and I didn't know what was going on. And so basically he expected that he was going to come up to Jesus Camp and he was going to have a wild time with me and my friends and all the Jesus Camp kids who know how to drink and do drugs. And really it was the 13-year-old kids who were like destroying the Death Star while staring directly into his eyes on the couch in the corner. So I guess what I'm saying is if, you know, if you don't know how to party, stay away from Jesus Camp.